everybody joining us this afternoon. 29 St. David's Road, Houtstan is where you'll find us for this first team game between St. John's College and the neighbours from up the road, Jeppe Boys High School. My name is Lucky Letsabo, and joined in commentary this afternoon is Meni Sekhale.
Afternoon, Lucky. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Very happy to see that the clouds have given us a bit of shadow, overcast, so won't be working on my tan, but otherwise all good to go.
Yeah, look, it seemed like we weren't going to get too much rugby in today. It didn't start off too well, but it seems to be a lovely day now.
Lovely day indeed it is. First home game for St. John's College, so they'll obviously be hoping for a win this afternoon. Both teams' second game of the season. Last week, Jeppe unfortunately going down to St. Stithians College, and a win by St. John's College over their foes Parktown.
Here, as we see the St. John's boys doing their infamous entrance. I must say, it's quite a spectacle.
Quite a spectacle indeed. Quite a decent crowd that has pulled out this afternoon from both sides of the school. Jeppe boys and the St. John's College boys. I see the war cries are up and running. Can't get a first team fixture without that. So great to see the team spirit going on.
And what a beautiful school it is. You guys can't see it on camera at the moment, but one of the best school buildings I've seen in Joburg. There we go. Absolutely beautiful. Great setting for this first team game as St. John's hosts Jeppe.
Having a quick look at either sides there, we can see a couple of changes from last week from the St. John's College side. Kieran, the captain there, number 10, will be a pivotal player, combining both forwards and the backline. From your side, Manny, changes from last week?
Basically the same side. Last week we saw Douglas Cutter go out with an injury. It's good to see him back. Otherwise, just a few positional changes. Van Tonder moves to 10, O'Connell out to 12, and Mahau into wing, sorry.
Referee blows a kickoff. St. John's playing from our right to the left. Jeppe boys in their usual zebra strip of black and white, playing from our left to our right.
Any predictions here today, Lucky?
Many too close to call for me. I haven't seen, unfortunately, both sides that play this year. I know St. John's had quite a decent comeback against Parktown last week. We'll just have to wait to make a call.
Well, I think we've got a great game on our hands here. Van Tonder kicks it, massive boot from Van Tonder, just above 22. First line out of the day as we look for the ball. I think one of the Jeppe boys might have taken it.
As there's a bit of a pause in play, Manny, from your side, any standout players that we should be looking at? Any game changes?
Yeah, definitely. Number 13, Muzi Manyika, fantastic player, young player, 17 years of age, so he's still got another year of first team to come. Otherwise, a very well-balanced side, this Jeppe side. And from your side?
So just before I talk about the St. John's College boys, another Similani on your hands?
Don't put me on the spot here, but definitely two great number 13s in 2 years. Well, I'd like to see how his future pans out. He's a sevens player as well, but he loves the 15s game, so I'd love to see how it goes. I don't want to compare the two yet, but look, we definitely have a future star on our hands.
From our side, obviously, 8th man, Julian Ziller, fantastic physical presence. He'll look to carry the ball up for the team, get over that advantage line. They use him quite a lot in the set pieces to break through the defense, so he's one player to watch out for. Obviously, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, Kieran Houtstan as the captain there and fly half, pivotal in his role in terms of balancing out the backs and the forwards, as we see him on the ball now.
Well, last week, one thing we did see is Jeppe's backline is definitely their strength. St. Stithians bringing the heat with their forward pack, but Jeppe's backline, you'd want to keep the ball as far away from as possible from the number 9 to the number 15. Explosive running, they love to run it from wherever they are.
As we see Kieran Houtstan take up the ball just over halfway. Hooker there, Braden Loxton, carries the ball a bit further forward. Good to see getting over the advantage line very early on in the game.
Big hit there from the number 2. Always good to see some running rugby here.
Running rugby indeed. I hope to see a very expansive game of rugby today. Getting that ball out wide, not getting stuck in sticky situations at ruck time.
No, definitely. I think that's what we're going to see from both teams there. Definitely from Jeppe, and I can imagine from St. John's. You know, everyone trying to play an attractive brand of rugby, and it seems to work these days.
First penalty of the game by the referee blown. Offside call by the Jeppe boys. Kieran Hossel will look to have a shot at goal.
What would your decision have been in this situation?
Same one.
Well, he's not having a shot at goal, so...
Oh dear.
Very different. I'm pretty sure I did see the ref pointing at the poles, but obviously changing his mind midway.
Well, fair enough. Post was the call originally, but...
St. John's line out, they'll be looking to secure ball here. It's going to be interesting to see what they choose to do off the top here.
David McAlpine takes the ball, but unfortunately, Moores collapsed. Advantage by the referee.
Happy to take the advantage, happy to take the penalty of St. John's here.
First chat by the referee. Obviously, would want to call in the captain. Give some final instructions.
Definitely, like we said, even the ref would like to see some flowing rugby. I don't want to see anything, any breakdowns of play here.
Has been quite stop-start, wouldn't you say, since the beginning of the game?
Hasn't quite flowed, but I think the two teams are just analysing each other at the moment. We'll see later on, maybe in the first half, maybe early second half, game starting to flow a little bit.
Hopefully not that long, but we wait and see.
Well, cautious start from both teams, both taking their penalties into the touchline. Haven't seen too much expansive rugby at the moment, but they'll start to suss each other out.
Line-out ball here, 5 meters from the try line. Braden Holson will look to get his team going.
Jeppe defence will be very, very much tested here.
Maul is a call again. Seems to be moving in some forward direction there.
Well, still a maul here, and there goes down. Good presentable ball here from St. John's.
Forwards getting stuck in, will want to pick and drive. Scrum half though is having none of it. Khobla will look to get rid of it.
Massive step here from the number 12 as he gains yards. Referee's decision, try St. John's.
Try St. John's, centre William Davis. Excellent side step in the centre of the park, straight through the middle. Down he goes, 5 points St. John's.
Well, I mean, this is fantastic to see here, but Jeppe's defence just being tested here and failing the test up front.
Credit to Ronan Khobla there, as we're saying. Forwards try to get stuck in, taking the ball up. He had none of it. He said we're getting the ball wide. Expansive rugby we saw just for a little bit of a minute there.
No, it's lovely work by the halfbacks, the number 9 and 10, seeing the opportunity to score a goal, score a try underneath the poles. Lovely vision from the two halfbacks. First kick of the day.
Captain Houtstan.
Well, easy as you like as he slots it over from in front of the poles.
Flags up, Kieran's happy, St. Johnson's happy, 7 up.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how Jeppe bounce back from this game. Well, last week we saw them go up, nearly running away with the game against St. Stithians, but St. Stithians clawing their way back into the game, making it a tight fixture. I'd like to see how they react to this now, Jeppe.
Van Tonder gets us going for Jeppe boys. Is that a piddle I feel on my head? Hopefully it's not going to start raining.
Well, I think the drizzle's starting to come. I'm hoping it just blows through here. Some of the boys might have to do an anti-rain dance here.
Zilla, as we mentioned before, carries up the ball strongly once again over the advantage line.
I must say, St. John's looking the stronger side at the moment. Don't you agree?
A little bit stronger. I think Jeppe just needs to settle down, get into their emotion, and then we'll see a different side from Jeppe. But I think a little bit restless. They just need to... Penalty comes. As I say that, penalty comes there for Jeppe. I think they'll want to just take a deep breath, settle things down, assess their options, just to get over that advantage line.
Look, the one thing I think we'll notice is, especially at this level, at first team level, you know, there's no such thing as an easy game. So every time you travel somewhere, you're hosting someone, you're bound to get a hard game, regardless of who the opposition is.
Jeppe Boys High School, obviously coached by Carl Spillers. an added addition to Jeppe Boys High School this year. How's he been on that side of the world?
No, what a fantastic addition. You know, he offers us an absolute wealth of knowledge, and you know, he's been around the block for as long as anyone can imagine. So fantastic to work with him. You know, he's also helping with the directive of the coaches. Coaches are learning so much from him, and I think it's starting to show. You know, throughout the board, from A to E, from 1 to 5. I think the brand of rugby that we're trying to play is being spread down the line.
Fantastic to hear. Any other changes on the management team for this year?
Well, head coach of last year, Jeppe van der he moves to the director position. Otherwise, the forwards coach and the backline coach stays the same. Second team coach is also staying the same.
Similar situation on the side of St. John's. Kevin Musikant obviously heading up the reins here and ably assisted by Gerard Visser. So management team hasn't changed. One or two new members in the back. Duncan Stead coming in to assist with the forwards, and it's scrum time. So we'll see now as the first scrum takes place. Van Tonder gets rid of the ball. Houtstan, inside ball.
Step back.
Lovely to see her running it from the 22.
Tell me, Manny, what do you prefer? Kicking fly half, running fly half?
Well, I think we all prefer a running fly off, don't we? A running fly off that can kick.
Running fly that can kick. I like that.
It would be a massive disadvantage if he couldn't kick, I'll tell you that much. Jeppe definitely being tested here in the first 10 minutes of the game. St. John 7-0.
First visit into the 22 by Jeppe Boys. Unfortunately, impeding at ruck time there. Penalty goes the way of St. John's. Kieran would like to get us out of town.
Yeah, slightly ill discipline up front, but I'm sure the coaches will have something to say just to iron out all these indisciplines. I think a little bit of a drizzle starting to come here.
Zilla carrying up the ball strongly down the middle once again, over the advantage line. They'll want to use this momentum now. Quick ball will be the order of the day.
No, definitely. I mean, we saw the result of the first try, you know, trying to bash it up close to the ruck, but quick ball going out into the center of the park, getting them the 5 points.
Two boys getting to know each other there in the middle of the park. Chip over the top, well handled by the fullback there, Kutsia.
It's what we call a South African greeting, that.
Quick tap by Kutsia, gives it onto the...
Oh, this is Muzi Manyika. We saw him do it last week, and he'll look to do it again. Lovely offload to Sipho Vaisa.
Great continuity there.
Well, I mean, this is fantastic rugby. You know, good 50 meters gained there by the three players, and this is the brand of rugby that Jeppe likes to play.
All start off in the 22 by fullback Kutsia, calling the mark. Quick tap away he was. Fantastic combining between the center and the wing.
As Jeppe win the penalty.
Like you're saying, Manny, the team just needed to settle down, get their emotions in place, and we just got now a little view of what Jeppe's capable of. Deep in their 22, not afraid to run the ball, and they've made it across about 50 meters.
No, definitely. You know, with the style of rugby Jeppe look to play, you can't just go from the offset. So it is going to be shaky at times, but when it does come out, goodness, does it look good. Shot at poles here by Van Tonder. Well, Van Tonder with a shaky start last week. He'll be looking to make it 100% kick rate this week.
Van Tonder. 3 points.
Over she goes, easy as you like it in front of the poles. Both kickers having a relatively easy start here at the beginning of the game. Will be interesting to see what happens when the ball gets taken a little bit wide at penalty time.
Good start by both halves, like you said, will be a nice confidence booster for them. First kick, a nice easy one, just to settle down the nerves. Kieran Houtstan will look to get us going at the halfway mark.
Must say, a fantastic crowd in here at St. John's today. All the seats basically taken. It's always fantastic to see people supporting schoolboy rugby. After all, this is the future of our rugby, isn't it?
It is indeed, as Ngaba takes a beautiful ball up the top. They'll look to clear the lines as Jeppe boys received by Zilla on the other side. There's only one way Zilla's going, and that's straight forward.
Goodness, you don't want him running at you, do you?
No, I'd prefer for somebody else.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's not two. Oh, and
it's that man away again. William Davis bashes it up through the middle, breaks it into the center of the park there.
no, it's a fantastic run again by Davis. You know, he really is making inroads into this Jeppe defense as number 4 not held in the tackle manages to gain an extra meter.
McAlpine takes the ball up. Now Ronan Khobla will look to distribute the ball. That's that man Davis again. Bashes it up, gets a couple of meters. The forwards will look to set and then open up the backs. Here comes Houtstan. Straight into the hands of a Jeppe boy.
Definitely got to retain possession better in that situation.
Most definitely.
Lost forward is the call by the referee.
Last forward there, Kieran tried to take the ball up.
As we
a
see
little bit of trouble.
As we see the replay of that break, fantastic work by the number 12, Kieran Davies. William, sorry. Well, the rain starts to pick up just a little bit, but both schools don't seem phased. You know, they'll be supporting their first 15 regardless of the situation.
They don't seem phased, but I wouldn't mind a brolly. Defensive scrum now right on the 5-meter line of Jeppe boys. Obviously they'll look for an exit here. Hopefully.
Well, you'd be surprised. You know, I've seen Jeppe run it out from the situation yet. It'll be interesting to see what they choose to do here.
Well, we have seen a glimpse of it already as Kutsia has already taken the ball from deep inside his 22. So I'm sure they would back themselves.
I must add here, a relatively young side here from Jeppe, donning a lot of grade 11s. Not too many matrics here.
Fantastic, obviously, for the growth and development of Jeppe boys. Obviously, a couple of matrics just to steer the ship and add a bit of experience and leadership.
No, definitely. You know, a good mix of experience and potential coming together here.
Penalty call there by the referee that goes to Jeppe boys. Breaking the bind is the call.
Well, St. John just letting Jeppe out a little bit easily there. You know, good situation to test Jeppe out, test them on the kick here, and now Jeppe will retain possession on the line out.
Yeah, they won't be too happy with that as the ball comes flying past us. And a good save by a parent there in the crowd.
That's not the greatest hands I've ever seen, you know, but I think he was saving his wife in the crowd here.
Fair enough. Line out time just in front of us here for Jeppe boys. They will look to continue on the little bit of momentum they have.
Yeah, once again we see a short line out here, probably looking to bash it up in midfield.
Skew ball called, St. John's ball.
Well, they very much ill discipline here. Neither of these two teams can afford these mistakes in critical situations.
Yeah, but also, man, it's one of those, you know, you've got forward momentum, you've just received the ball, you want to keep it together, you want to hold onto the ball, and you lose a ball like that. Doesn't make for a very happy coach.
No, it definitely doesn't. I can imagine Carl Spillau's tearing his hair out at the moment, but they'll definitely be looking to iron it out as the game goes on.
Neither team has looked close to scoring so far. Having said that, still a very good encounter between the two sides.
Definitely first 20 minutes, I think. Both teams probably still sussing each other out, trying to find strengths and weaknesses in each other as the ball comes straight out the tunnel. Jeppe retain ball here. Well, this is exactly what we were saying. So St. John's just winning the free kick and losing possession, you know.
Both teams must work much harder at retaining the ball. as we see some football skills in the center of the park.
I think a little knock on there by Jeppe, huh? Yep. A little bit of a knock, and it's happened again.
Fantastic eyes, Manny.
I'll try my best. But once again, just like we were saying, the change in possession, just too much for both sides. If this is going to be a good game, and if either of the sides are looking to win, they're probably going to have to retain possession a little bit better and be a little bit more disciplined.
We've seen what happens when we retain the ball. Both backlines very expansive, ball moving quite nicely, as we've just seen here with Jeppe boys. So both teams must really focus on holding that ball.
Definitely, and it doesn't allow for these two explosive backlines to operate if both teams are switching possession like this. And the kind of game we want to see is number 12. We've seen William Davies running at them. We've seen Muzi Manyike running at St. John's. That's the kind of game we want to see. But you've got to retain possession first.
Both of them standout plays for you at this time?
Definitely. At the moment, I'm very much backline orientated. And number 12, St. John's. Number 13, Jeppe, looking absolutely fantastic. And once again,
horrible mix-up in midfield.
Exactly.
Fortunately for them, fly half from Jeppe boys. Van Tonder doesn't hang on. Otherwise, that was try time.
No, that would have been a critical mistake. Exactly what we were talking about. Just the mistakes in midfield here, not good enough from both teams at the moment, and it could lead up to cost them.
The centre there looking for a switchback. Musachi Kanza, he's just come in. Normally in that position there we'd have Tsepo Chipu, but unfortunately got a bit of a bash to the head in midweek training. So Musachi's there, obviously just trying to get a bit used to the game.
Well, we hope to see him recovering as soon as possible. You never like to, you always want to see your best 30 players on the park at all time.
Ball comes out, Houtstan, Davies. Kanza's showing a little bit of what he can do. Advantage being blown by the referee.
Well, we've seen Davies from the back line dominating this game. It's good to see Mkanza also joining in on the party.
Houtstan once more, still advantage for the St. John's College boys. McAlpine will carry the ball up.
Once again, just a little bit sloppy at breakdown over there, not getting clean ball out to the forwards. Big hit put in here by Mpochamela.
Massive, I felt that from here. Doing well in the meantime to retain the ball is St. John's College as the ball goes to
knock-on advantage, and once again another change of possession here from St. John's.
Ruben Engelbrecht just unfortunately unable to hold on to that ball as he tried to give it to winner Garrick Stead. Unfortunately not coming to pass. Scrum time just in front of the St. John's College boys. I'm sure they will look to get involved with the war cry and make sure that they are felt.
Fantastic to see those old school bashers being brought out. You don't see that too often. Only certain schools donning the basher, and it's fantastic to see it.
Wonderful tradition as we see the St. John's boys getting very vocal and getting behind their boys.
Absolutely rocking the stands that we're sitting on at the moment. But fantastic atmosphere we've got here from both schools.
Mistake there by the centre Vesa.
Dear, oh dear. Well, it hasn't even started raining yet, and the handling errors in this game must be building up at the moment.
Too many handling errors, particularly for first team level. The guys really need to settle down the nerves, get through the basics.
Well, you said you wanted to see this game opening up a little bit, but both teams not allowing themselves, not giving themselves the opportunity to open up with all these handling errors, not getting it down the line, not getting clean ball out from breakdown.
Scrum time now just on the 22 in the centre of the park. St. John's ball. Kobler gets it in. Good control by Zilla at the back. Ball comes out. Kieran Halstead. Kobler losing the ball.
We talk about standout players. I'd also like to add the number 8 from St. John's, Julian Zille. I think he's been fantastic. He's carried many meters in this game. He's bashing the Jeppe backline up a little bit, and it's fantastic to see.
As much as we said we want to see the ball go wide and an expansive game of rugby, doesn't hurt to have one or two bashes up front just to get that go forward, get over the advantage line, and really do the dirty work.
No, definitely, and it's something they'll practice. They'll practice at training. Just retaining the ball, slowly getting meters, then swinging out wide and looking to execute.
Defensive scrum now for Jeppe boys. In by Smanga, out by Smanga. Roofed away there, fantastic kick by Van Tonder. Doesn't go out, meets Ruben Engelbrecht, who looked to take it right back up.
We might get pinned for advantage.
The advantage called by the referee. Player not making any effort to roll away as we see the boys playing the advantage through. Philip Mparut's on the ball now. He'll look to get physical, but goes straight down.
Well, once again, we saw William Davies there just bashing it into the Jeppe backline. He has been phenomenal, and it's only been 21 minutes in the game. 23 rather.
Referee doesn't see the ball going forward there. He will come back for the advantage, or rather lack thereof.
Yeah, we are in Ngaba just getting stuck at rock time over there. Not able to roll away from the ball, so just getting pinned advantage St. John's.
Referee there just having a quick word with Captain Kieran Houtstan. Crowds have catch it there in the stands. Judging by the murmurs of the St. John's boys, I think somebody dropped one.
Oh, reminiscent of the game, don't you think?
Fair enough. They're playing the spirit of the game. Two ball for St. John's. More than not effective. Ball going straight to the ground.
Lovely work, but just not managing to retain possession there as he steps one, offloads it straight to a Jeppe player. Obstruction's the call there by the referee. Accidental.
Good run there by the captain, Kieran Houtstan. Just unfortunately not able to link with another player to get that ball off.
No, definitely, a lethal number 10 and 12 here from St. John's. I'd hate for Jeppe to not mark up on the two players. "25 minutes into the game, I would like to see both wingers getting involved. I don't think both sets of wingers from both teams have had a fair opportunity just to get that ball and get out of second gear." No, definitely. Like I said, St. John's keeping it nice and tight between their number 10 and 12. Haven't seen the ball getting swung out wide to number 11 or 14 at the moment. But you're right, from both sides. I definitely haven't seen both wingers getting involved in the game.
Quick ball now is the order of the day for St. John's College as they try to fluster this Jeppe defense. Houtstan now. That man Davies takes it up.
Well, there again we see, the ball not making it all the way out to the number 11. Number 12 looking to crash it up into the Jeppe backline.
Counter-attack now by Jeppe boys. I've just asked to see wingers getting involved, and there they go.
Well, ask and you shall receive, I suppose.
Excellent steal there by Jeppe boys on their own line. Turned into a counter-attack by the winger, Uvaise, and now in the center of the park, Jeppe ball.
Well, both wingers just on the side. Sorry, a winger and the number 13 from St. John's look like they're struggling a little bit on the side here. I hope to see them up and running.
That's Cameron van Tonder just in that tackle situation there. Both of them not coming out well.
Oh, it's a strenuous game here. We've seen some massive hits being put in by both sides as we see the replay over here of the break here by Vaise. Absolute unit there on the wing, I must say.
We see Vaise slow down there. I think a bit of a hamstring.
Yeah, I think he might have just pulled up a little bit there. I'm not sure. Hopefully he hasn't pulled his hammy. Hopefully it's just a little bit of a stretch, but physio will be looking to get him up and running.
That hamstring, I must say, is quite heavily strapped, and we see more strapping coming on. A pause in play gives both teams an opportunity. Captains, final instructions.
Well, it is a tolling game, this rugby, isn't it?
Sure, we see now that that hamstring of Vaise getting heavily strapped. Hopefully he'll be okay to continue.
Well, these guys are absolute soldiers. He would like nothing more to be on that first team rugby field at the moment. It's going to be a mission to get him off.
Great to see that passion, commitment from the boys. We're back on now with Khobla about to feed the scrum.
Good scrum here from St. John's. Can they get go forward ball here?
Davies in control of the ball, spreads it wide to the far winger, Henwood. Henwood takes the ball up just over the 10-meter line, close to the 22. Ruck time now is the call.
Well, this is really only the second time we've seen the wings expressing themselves here, isn't it?
Certainly so, but good go forward ball as we see David McAlpine somehow getting through the middle there, taking his team forward. They'll look for quick ball now as it comes to the left. Houtstan loses the ball trying to step. Jeppe boys will look to clean up quite quickly. They get it a ball, it goes to their far left.
Well, we're going to see some running rugby here out of Jeppe's 22.
Tackle is a call there. 8th man doing a fantastic job to run out the ball there, Ackerman. It'll come out now for Jeppe boys in the center of the park there.
Jamila fighting off 3 St. John's guys there. Strong runner.
Ngaba gets rid of the ball again as Jeppe boys just make it over the halfway line. Good momentum now for Jeppe boys. They'll hopefully retain the ball and look to spread it.
No, definitely we're starting to see that expansive rugby that we were talking about. Jeppe just needing to get into this game as Kutia kicks and chases.
Engelbrecht now, fantastic recovery. A massive clash. Big clash there with the two boys. Penalty call by the referee. Holding on was Ruben Engelbrecht.
I'll tell you what, no one was giving in as we see this massive hit in the middle of the park here. No one was giving in there.
Great standoff with the boys. I don't think there was a winner there, but I think some very happy spectators to see some physicality in the game.
Now we'll definitely call that one a tie. Round 1.
Round 1, he says. Line out time now. Nkosi will look to feed the line out for Jeppe boys and give them some good go forward ball. Short line out turns into a maul. Referee not having any of it. Obstruction is the call.
Well, looks like a change of kick here.
Yeah, the fullback, Ruben Engelbrecht, also quite a capable kicker, just taking over the reins there, giving Houtstan a breather. Ball doesn't go out, counter-attack by Jeppe boys.
Oh, here we go. We see this expansive brand of rugby. Muzi Manike looking to gain some grounds. Litchfield on the ball, looks to hand off a few St. John's players.
We'll never miss that player there with those boots.
No, look, I think he's definitely, if there's any scouts in the crowd, you know, he's making himself shown.
Ball as it moves wide now for the Jeppe wingers, unfortunately not able to hang on to that ball. Knock on there, St. John's ball. Referee has a quick look at his clock. 5 minutes left in this first half. Very stop-start first half it's been.
No, definitely. I'm hoping when they go into the change room and chat to the two coaches, I hope we just iron out as we see Muzi Manike with these bright orange boots, massive step. Well, this is why he's a sevens rugby player. But yes, definitely, would like to see after halftime the game flow a little bit more, hold on to the ball a little bit more, so that both teams can play their brand of rugby.
Oh dear. Don't see that very often. Khobla trying to get the ball in. Has hit one of his players on the elbow and lost the ball forward.
Well, you see something new every day, don't you?
Fair enough. As we pan across, we see the Jeppe crowd. Quite a lot of black and white. We see fantastic to see a big crowd out from Jeppe boys and the support from the parents as well. Everybody's come out in big numbers.
No, definitely. I just want to reiterate how fantastic it is to see people here supporting the future of our rugby.
Right, let's try this again. There's Khobla. Success. Good control there by the 8th man as they get rid of the ball. William Davis swings a wide ball out there to Stead as he goes down.
Manike makes the tackle.
Ball. Oh, Kieran comes up with the ball. He looked on the far left-hand side. Over he goes. Try, St. John's.
Well, I must just say, there's William Davies just congratulating Kieran Houtstan. They have been fantastic in the back line today. They've gained meters. They have the ability to kick. They've kept it tight in defense, and they have been a standout pairing.
They have really twirled well. You see there, a ref there, went one way, went the other way. Somehow, Kieran Houtstan managed to rip that ball out. Only thing he saw there was the white line.
He was always going over there. He saw the white line and over he goes. Now we're looking to convert that into more points. Well, I think we've just got the score wrong here. We've given the try to the wrong people. There we go.
Is this a part where we say apologies for the technical error or not?
No. Just keeping everyone on their feet.
Kieran Houtstan looking to convert.
Over she goes as Kieran Houtstan converts his own try. Well, it's good to see the captain here leading from the front.
Fantastic. He really has led the troops from the front. Really got stuck in when he needed to. Good kicks, good distribution of the ball, not short of physicality. A good all-round fly half. As we see the score now towards the end of this first half, St. John's go up 2 tries to Jeppe boys, 1 penalty.
Okay, I must say, even though this game has been a little bit scrappy, St. John's still showing their structure, still showing that they have a plan and they know how they're going to get to the white line.
Ball comes out there and referee decides, boys, drinks break.
Well, the happy of the two teams will definitely be St. John's. 14-3 going into the half-time break.
Very tricky this half-time period because now, particularly from a St. John's college point of view, they've done fantastically well, but I'm sure the instruction from the coaches will be, do not sit back, keep doing what you're doing, because otherwise Jeppe can be a threat.
No, definitely. Some of the best franchises, some of the best countries, some of the best teams are the ones who can play the full 80. Now, okay, 70 minutes. So if they look to drop their standards in the second half, Jeppe definitely will punish them.
And opposite situation in terms of the Jeppe boys. From them, the instructions from the coaches will be, boys, we got nothing to lose now. Second half, let's hope for a different game. Let's get up there. Let's back our systems. Basics must come back. Ball retention critical, and go forward.
Well, definitely, especially now with an 11-point gap, I think Jeppe will definitely look to free their game up a little bit. Like you say, chasing the game here at the moment, so they need points. They'll be looking to deal in tries, looking to get the ball out wide, bash it through the midfield. We won't see them tightening up too much. So what would be your halftime team talk here to St. John's at the moment? 11 points ahead. What would you be saying?
Message is quite simple. Ball retention. There have been areas of concern, particularly when the boys are on the back foot, not carrying the ball as much as we'd like to. A little bit more distribution, but ball retention for me critical. Go forward has been fantastic. Davies in the center there doing a superb job. So let's get that ball out. I think Hobla, the scrum half of St. John's, has been doing really well to distribute that ball as quickly as possible to make sure that first phase ball is going there. In terms of the forwards, obviously Julian Ziller there doing a fantastic job for go forward. They must keep that going, but also the forwards to support at ruck time.
No, definitely. I agree. I share your sentiments over there. Team talk in the Jeppe camp will probably go something like this. Got to look to retain possession. Got to look to get to the St. John's byline. Got to look to score a few tries. All those mistakes they made in the first half might be coming back to bite them a little bit. Yeah, this game could be a lot closer than it is. But in saying that, if St. John's hadn't made all those mistakes, it could be a lot further than it is. So, even Stevens here at the moment, we saw last week Jeppe about 26-11 up, and St. Stithians managing to claw their way into the game. So it's a funny game, this rugby. Any team could still win it at this point.
I agree with you on that, Manny. Despite the scoreline, I still think second half we got a game on our hands.
Definitely. I'm not sure if the scoreline represents the game at the moment. Both teams, even Stevens, making the same mistakes, making the same breaks, but St. John's just a little bit more clinical in their finish.
A little bit more clinical, and also just coming out on the better side of their chances, I think. Any changes that you would forecast on the Jeppe side?
Well, not at the moment. Last week we saw 3 or 4 changes being made as the game went on, but that was all due to injury. I think they'll be looking to keep their team, as similar as possible.
Well, as we see those teams up on the screen now, like Manny said, I think for both sides the teams will come out in the second half as they are. I just hope on the Jeppe camp that Usipo Vaise was able to get a little bit of treatment and have that hamstring checked out, because as we saw in the game, he's a pivotal player and somebody that is needed in the Jeppe side.
Definitely. Looking at that St. John side, who would be your forward pick and who would be your backline pick of the day?
At the moment, obviously, in the forwards, leading from the front there, Julian Ziller, really been strong, very, very physical, good go-forward ball there. And in the back line there, a tough gamble, flip a coin. Kieran Houtstan, number 1, and the centre there, William Davis, really combining well, doing a fantastic job. So far, so good.
I think you've definitely got to throw Ronan Krobler into the mix there. He's been distributing fantastic ball, and without him, the number 10 and 12 wouldn't be able to do the magic that they're doing at the moment.
Fantastic distribution skills by Krobler. Hopefully can keep that up. Good go-forward ball, clinical at ruck time.
And from the Jeppe side, 1 forward, 1 back?
In terms of the Jeppe side, I've really liked Uvaise there on the wing. Hasn't seen the ball as much as I would like to see him to, but the 1 or 2 times that he's been on the ball, fantastic, absolute game changer. I think Jeppe should get that ball to him as quickly as possible. In terms of the forwards, Nkosi, I think, has been doing all the dirty work at ruck time, really been getting stuck in there, really been a physical presence. I think the forwards must just gather around him and get together to ensure that that ball is secure.
Fantastic to hear. I think I think at the moment what Jeppe needs is a few leaders just to say, listen, chaps, we got to clean it up here. Someone to lead the pack. Thorne O'Connell doing a fantastic job, but he can't do it by himself. He needs a few of the senior guys to gather around him and say, listen, chaps, the game is still on the cards here and hasn't run away from us yet.
Hopefully your sensibility will be echoed by the management staff of Jeppe boys. I'm sure that will be the message to the boys, just to get them back up again and going.
We talk about Carl Spilas. He would have been in this situation several times with all the first teams he's coached. So if anyone can get out of this situation, it's probably him.
Second half about to start now as both teams make their way to halfway. Thoughts on, I hate to comment on this, I think it's a very touchy subject, but many thoughts on the referee so far, his performance in the first half?
Look, they say if you don't notice the ref, he's normally had a good game. He's allowed the game to flow as much as possible. I think both teams doing themselves a disservice. Definitely hasn't been the ref. No real controversial calls, although both sides will, anything that goes against them, they'll think it's a little bit controversial. But I think he's been fantastic today.
I like what you say there. You don't notice the referee means he's done a good job. First half, I think, went superbly. Let's see how the second half goes.
Definitely, and there's been no nitty-gritty. He hasn't had to use his pockets at the moment, so hopefully the game stays like that, 15v15.
Good, nice, deep restart by the Jeppe fly half van Tonder. Unfortunately, going straight through the hands of number 6, Flip and Paruta from St. John's. So Leinart ball, Jeppe ball.
It's interesting, just a little bit of a reshuffle here. Van Tonder playing 11 last week, accustomed to that number 15 position. How have you seen him at number 10?
Van Tonder for me has been... what's going on there? It's a maul for Jeppe boys at the moment. Well, I'll come back to you now, Manny.
Well, the ball was nowhere near the maul at that situation. I'm not sure anyone knew what was going on, to be brutally honest.
I certainly didn't. Coming back there to Van Tonder, I think a little bit quicker ball from the scrum half will allow him to just express himself. Once or twice when he has gotten the ball, he has been able to spread it out wide and get it to the wingers.
We spoke about running fly halves and we spoke about kicking fly halves. I think we've got those two virtues today. Van Tonder kicking really well, even though Jeppe's brand of rugby doesn't allow him to kick. But St. John's is number 10, pivotal at during the attack, showing us what a running fly half does.
Quick one, Manny, as I'm just scanning across the park here. I don't see Lentuza, Konjuban, Vaise.
Well, yes, we see Sicelo Maposa coming into that right wing position. I don't think after that massive hit, as you said, we did see a little bit of strapping, so it might have been an injury that he has been carrying. He has been out for a little bit, making his way back into the side last week, making his way back into the side this week, and I think the hamstring just not holding out.
Fantastic catch by Parent there in the stands from that ball that went out from Kieran. But coming back to you there, hopefully Uvaize, nothing too serious, maybe just a precautionary change, and we hope that he comes back strong next week.
No, like I say, you always want to see your best 30 players on the field at all time, so, we don't want to see anyone going off due to injury, Wow, nearly a fantastic intercept try there. But the referee just calling them back for their advantage.
A sniff there from Kanza. He's been quite quiet this game, not being allowed to express himself. Got a fantastic sidestep on him. So if he does get on the ball, the opposition should watch out. Coming back there, no advantage by the referee. Penalty there for Jeppe as Van Tonder puts it down in the 5 meter.
Quite a good battle here between Manyike and Nkanza. Both like to express themselves, both like to dominate a little bit of space, both have fantastic steps, and both have great hands. A great competition here at 13.
The first real opportunity we've seen for Jeppe to attack as they want to make their way inside the red zone of St. John's. As they get a driving maul going, it is moving forward. Good control, it seems. Try!
Well, I was just about to say, if Jeppe want to fight their way back into this game, they've definitely got to start executing their opportunities a little bit better. And just showing there, I think Carl Spillar's having a word in some of their ears, and they're looking a lot cleaner.
Fantastic response early into the second half by Jeppe High School for boys. I'm sure, like we discussed during the halftime, Manny, the message would have been clear from the Jeppe boys management. Keep it simple. Ball retention. As we've seen there, 2-ball maul never lets you down in that situation. Good control. I saw there the scrum out from Jeppe boys. Umsimanga. Good control. Steering the forwards in the right direction. End result, try time Jeppe boys.
Well, definitely. I think some of the Jeppe boys' ears will still be ringing from that halftime team talk, but hopefully it stays in their ears for the next 35 minutes. We spoke about leaders. Someone would have had to make that call there at line-out time, and a fantastic call it was.
Van Tonder now will look to add the added 2.
Well, a difficult kick there for Van Tonder as he misses, but a 6-point game here at the moment, one converted score away. Game on.
Game on indeed. And a fantastic response, like we said a little bit earlier, by the Jeppe boys. Let's see now how St. John's react to this. Having not been a try down during this encounter, it'll be good to see if they can sustain the pressure.
No, definitely. In this first half, we haven't really seen St. John's in the game yet, so they would like to get the ball, retain a bit of possession and show Jeppe what they've got. Well, you don't see that too often.
Kieran Halsard goes off on a run.
Goodness, he is a machine, this number 10. He's had a fantastic game. He's kicked well, he's run well, he's defended well. Fantastic work from the leader.
As you see an exit ball by the Van Tonder. I just want to come back to that Kieran Halsard moment. Did he just chest the ball?
Well, he did, I think a bit of footy on later this afternoon, so just showing us how it's done. Massive handoff there by Kieran. Oh, he's got it all. He's got the kick, he's got the chest, he's got the head. He's got it all at the moment.
Somebody definitely had their brand flex this morning.
Well, just in a situation like that, just on a more serious note, just using his head there, understands that it's not an easy ball to collect there, not using his hands, but bringing the ball under control. Fantastic work there by the captain.
Kieran now opting not for the run, but rather a little tap over the top.
Well, we haven't seen the exchange of kicks in a while, Not too happy to see that. I would have liked to see them run it out from that situation.
I would have also liked to see Jeppe boys run it out, considering there was no real attempted a chase down by the St. John's boys. Very casual up the park there. So it would have been a good invitation for the Jeppe boys to counter-attack?
Well, like you said, the half-time break, it would have been said to keep it as simple as possible, keep it to simple rugby. So that's probably what we see there, just keeping it nice and safe, not playing the expensive brand of rugby. But fantastic by St. John's to change rugby, to change Jeppe's whole game like that. They really do have Jeppe under pressure at the moment.
As we see there, quick tap by Jeppe boys. Unfortunately, into the centres there, 8th man, Ackerman, unable to hang on to the ball. Advantage being played by the referee for the knock-on.
Wow, back to first half habits here.
We'll see now the first scrum of the second half. Hopefully both teams, as we wait for the scrum, hopefully both schools, St. John's and Jeppe boys, will get a bit fired up. Both schools been quite quiet since the halftime. I don't know if everybody's back from having a drink, but I think perhaps some war cries would get the teams going.
Oh, definitely. It's a tight game at the moment. The 15 people at the 15 people on the field at the moment need their team to need their school to get behind them. So I'm sure the boys will be showing their support very soon.
And Kanzan there quickly shut down before he's able to do anything. Will Davis try to flick back there, it doesn't work. And Henwood managing to retain the ball. The forwards will look to stabilize. There's that man, Ziller again. Gets
Goodness.
2-3 meters. Fantastic, that's what you want. Chip over the top there by scrum half Khobla. Mark call by Jeppe boys.
Well, we were chatting about our best backline players and our best forwards players. A standout for me in the backline has been Jordan Kutsia. I think he's been fantastic. He's been an absolute rock at the back there for Jeppe boys. Underneath the high ball, last line tackles, and joining the line on attack. He's been absolutely fantastic. And for a 17-year-old who just came out of under 16 rugby last year, he looks like he belongs here, doesn't he?
Yeah, rightly so. Many fantastic exchange by the two Jeppe boys on the far side of the field. Unfortunately, last exchange not going to hand.
Scrum count building up. Well, there's been much debate about whether there's still place for scrums in rugby. What are your thoughts about it?
Okay, well, I'm a forward, so
That's your bread and butter, isn't it?
it is, yeah. Give us something to do on the park.
Also, you don't have to do much running at the scrum time.
It's a rest break. What I meant to say was, it's all for the big boys. Let's get physical. Let's get an encounter going.
No, definitely. It is a battle at scrum time. The front row really getting hyped up. The locks, the flankers, all getting hyped up. It's a battle to say who's who in the zoo.
Zilla now bringing the ball just up to the halfway mark. Khobla again chipping.
Well, it's just fantastic. We were just speaking about him, Jordan Kansia. Fantastic attacking work there. Safety under the high ball, massive step. Gains his school a good 20 meters.
That said, Manny, is it a clever tactic to employ by St. John's? 3 times now, Khobla, the scrum half, have chipped the ball over the top. No real chasers, and they've basically kicked it right to Kutsia.
We'll get back to that. Chamela just making a break. He's an athlete. He's going to make it. Does he have the legs? Does he have the speed? Fantastic defense by the skipper. Absolutely brilliant. He's been great on attack, and now we see him in defense, saving his team from what would have been definitely 7 points.
Try-saving tackle there by Captain Kieran Houtstan. Unfortunately, after making the tackle, not rolling away. Quick ball now by Jeppe boys. No, you won't, says the referee. Come back to the mark. What a run, though.
Goodness, what a run. He is an athlete. He genuinely plays athletics. He's a triple jumper. Ooh. And as we just see look at those wheels there from the number 7. He doesn't want anyone catching him. He steps once. But fantastic work from the number 10. He's been working all day, and he's saying, no, you don't, sir. Not here at St. John's.
In the meantime, Jeppe boys manage a quick ball off the penalty over the line. Try time for Jeppe boys. We got a contest on our hands here, Manny, as we predicted.
Oh, definitely. It's going to go right down to the wire. Like we said in the beginning, there's no such thing as an easy game at first team level, and it's starting to show right now.
As we see the replay, quick tap by the scrum half, Simanga. Try time there by centre Manyike.
Well, it's fantastic. You know, St. John's haven't made too many tactical mistakes today, but just sleeping ever so slightly, and Jeppe exposing that. As
Van Tonder with the extra 2 points.
As he kicks it all the way back to Jeppe. Ooh. There we go, much better.
1 point game now. Let's see. St. John's really, I would like to think, on the back foot now.
Definitely, you know, I just don't think they've rocked up in the second half. You know, we praised them in the first half. They had Jeppe on the back foot, but like we said in the beginning again, you know, it's the team that plays the full 70 minutes that is the better team. Well, you were talking about employing the box kick, you know, I think it's just starting to backfire. You know, I think the game plan here is push Jeppe back as much as possible. However, they're not retaining any sort of momentum at the moment, and I think it's starting to show.
Have St. John's visited the 22 in the second half? I don't think they have.
Well, they haven't carried it into the 22, you see. So that is the problem. So they're gaining ground, but they're not gaining ground with ball in hand. And this is the problem. Jeppe can just kick it out back into their 22, or as we see there, they can just run it straight back at St. John's. And to be brutally honest, what I would like to see is them going back to what they were doing in the first half, because it was clearly working.
Quick line out there as he plays himself, does fly half Van Tonder.
Who says it's a team sport?
I think St. John's really need to settle now. Focus needs to back at ball retention. Let's get the go forward ball. And most importantly, support of each other. I think there are a lot of guys that are getting go forward ball, like you correctly said, but no support. Jeppe's coming there in numbers and turning over that ball.
Definitely lucky, you know, and I'm not sure why they're changing their game plan. You know, they say, you know, if it's not broken, don't fix it, and they've gone to a completely different game plan here in the second half. Maybe we'll see them going back to their first half game plan.
More now as you see the hooker, Braden Loxon in control, who shifts it now back to Zilla.
Well, not taking the advantage, just purposely knocking the ball on there.
Very clever as Ruben Engelbrecht. He saw that the ball was going nowhere. It had broken down. He knew there was an advantage pretty much right in front of the Strix. He has an opportunity for St. John's to go back ahead.
Well, we talk about leaders, you know, some fantastic leaders, some fantastic thinkers here in the St. John's side, I must say.
If he manages to get this over, Houtstan will score the first points of St. John's in the second half.
Well, you know, we spoke about the game running away, and exactly like we said, you know, it only took one score. Now we've got a 1 point game, possibly a 2 point game here.
Flags out for Kieran Houtstan as we can hear the St. John's boys cheering their team on. 17 points of 15. Game on, Manny.
Game on. You know, you can never count a team out at this level. Jeppe were behind come the end of the first half and clawing their way back into the game. It's a 2 point game here. Anybody's game, it's one kick away.
Van Tonder will look to get us started. He'll kick to his left. A high kick wanting to test St. John's. Eighth man Zilla jumps for the ball fantastically.
Goodness, is there anything this man can't do? Fantastic take there underneath the high ball.
McAlpine will look to take the ball, but unfortunately carried into touch. Line out Jeppe ball. As we see there, the two teams trying to get to know each other a little bit better there. I think now guys are feeling a bit of the pressure. They're into the game. They're feeling the game. The blood is boiling. Everybody's hyped up and good to go.
Well, this is where we're going to need to get the support of the two schools backing their first 15. You know, it's getting hot out there. It's getting intense. They need the support of their school as they compete for them.
Referee taking the advice of the St. John's boys crowd, calling skew ball. He agrees with them. Scrum, St. John's ball.
Did you say you could use access? I know. Then I don't know.
Just a little chance for everyone to catch their breath here.
Referee waits for the scrum to be steady before Khobla is given an opportunity to put the ball in. A switch now as the ball goes from Davis to Houtstan. He'll look to hack the ball away.
Oh, a little bit of a judgment error there as he kicks it straight out.
The ball out in the full. So Jeppe boys will have an opportunity just outside the St. John's boys 22 for an attack.
Goodness, who are those blokes?
I think that's us.
Oh. Oh, I must say, you know, in all my years of rugby, I can't ever say I've ever seen a straight put into the scrum.
What are you trying to say, Manny?
What a useless part of the game that scrum is. I think we should just get 15 backline players on the park and play it like that.
I don't want to commentate with Manny anymore. Through ball there by Davis. Engelbrecht catches the ball. Clatters his own play there, Mkanza. Ball is back up into play now. They will look to solidify the ball and get quick ball out to the backlines. Stop in play there by the referee as a judge that the ball somewhere in and amongst that womble that the ball has gone forward.
Well, you know, if St. John's are looking to win this game, understandably so, you know, they're gaining meters from these kicks, but they just have to keep ball in hand just a little bit more, gain a bit more momentum. A lot of patience, just bite at the Jeppe backline, bite at the Jeppe forwards, you know, try find cracks in the defense. At the moment, they're kicking the ball away, you know, which is creating mistakes at the moment.
Particularly, as we said, St. John's has yet to get inside the 22. The closest they came to the 22, they walked away 3 points. So close to the 22, retain the ball.
100%.
Simanga looks to get rid of the ball now. Ball goes straight forward to fly half Van Tonder. Van Tonder there into the centers who hacks it away. Engelbrecht perfectly positions, will look to run the ball up. He's not scared, this young man, is he? Runs into two Jeppe boys that take him straight back where he came from. Slow ball to come out there. Advantage blown by the referee. There's Davis again. Over the halfway goes. Still going. Now to the ground. St. John's still have a penalty advantage.
Well, once again, a deliberate knock on there. You know, they're happy to take the penalty here, which is quite interesting. Happy to slow the game down a little bit, gain a few more meters into the Jeppe half, and play from there. You know, not being rushed at the moment, not being phased by the scoreline, which is fantastic to see here.
I think also just to realize, well, as we see the ball not going out there, opportunity for Jeppe now to counter-attack.
Or not.
Safety first there by Lumo Boot Center. Who's that?
It was Manyike.
Oh, Manyike.
Oh, you can't miss him, I'll tell you that much.
That's true. I was hoping for a counter-attack. It was a 4v3 situation. I was backing the Jeppe boys to run that ball.
You know, in a normal situation, you know, we often see Jeppe countering it from that situation, even worse situations. But at the moment, the way the game is holding them, just going back to what we would call normal rugby, you know, just trying to get as high up the field as possible.
McAlpine will retain the ball to Julian Ziller. Ball will go forward now with Daniel Archer. Khobla will play the blind. Ball available for him again. Thomas Mortimer makes a couple meters. Quick ball available again for Khobla. There's that man, Magic Man Davies.
Had an absolutely excellent game here as Davies.
Philip Mparuta, ball ripped in the tackle. Referee adjusts that has gone back, so allows play to go on with Henwood.
Well, this is a little bit better here from St. John's. This is what we like to see, you know, retaining possession, you know, nipping it slowly but surely, nipping away at the Jeppe defense, and it's coming to good use, nearly making a 22 meter entry.
Stoppage now in play as we see number 16 from Jeppe boys making a change.
Yeah, we see Nkosi, who was your forward pick of the half, you know, just going off. It's hard work in that front row, you know. It's not that he's having a bad game, but it is difficult scrumming in the 1-2-3 position.
Tactical change by the coach?
Well, I'm not sure. Zawadzki hasn't played in that hooker role this whole year. He's been training in that hooker role. But Nkosi's just had a fantastic season. Not too sure what this changed. Maybe just a little bit of fresh legs. A bit of a fresh neck at scrum time.
Probably just somebody else to put in that scrum. As you've seen, we have had quite a few scrums this game, so not a bad option replacing a hooker.
No, definitely. Like I said, it does take its toll after a while. So I definitely think just a bit of fresh legs, get some fresh blood into that.
Another stoppage in play. Referee doesn't seem very happy about something. Just having a chat to the boys.
Boys look to be taking it all in. Well, St. John's taking the points here, trying to get as far away from Jeppe as possible at the moment.
Wise move, you think?
Definitely, in a game like this where Jeppe's defense definitely has looked good, and the mistakes are plenty in this game. You want to secure points. You don't want to be making mistakes because that's what's been happening the whole game. So probably not trusting their game at the moment, but taking the points, I think it's a smart move in this situation.
Safety first, can never go wrong.
Also, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to get Jeppe to start chasing the game just a little bit. Maybe force Jeppe into a few mistakes.
Kieran will look to swing the ball from left to right.
Well, the crowd believes, and so they should. Fantastic kick from the sideline. It's not an easy kick, especially with that left boot. It's a little bit easier from the other side of the park, but fantastic has the captain been today.
Great in-swinger there by Captain Kieran Halstead. Will take the points. 3 points for St. John's College. That'll put them 5 ahead.
5-point game. Still anyone's game here at the moment. Jeppe will probably be looking to take their next penalty, make it a 2-point game.
Quick restart by the Jeppe boys, showing their urgency.
Just a little bit of a fumble underneath the high ball there. Jeppe managed to get possession.
Quick ball now will be the order of the day for Jeppe as it goes down the center of the park.
As we see another mistake there. These mistakes, especially in a tight game like this, they're going to be counting up those mistakes when they're looking at the video analysis later.
St. John's now will want to secure the ball and get the ball away from their red zone.
Massive space on Jeppe's left-hand side here. Wonder if the captain will pick that space up.
Cheeky kick over the top, you suggest?
Well, definitely. That's the route I would be looking to go. Maybe chase up. Kutsia has been fantastic. Well, they decide not to listen to me, and so they shouldn't.
Chance of a counter now for Jeppe. Slightly forward, I think that ball's gone.
Wow. Those are absolutely fantastic eyes there. Wearing my Jeppe cap, I think that was 50-50.
By the looks of things, some very tired bodies out there, Manny.
Yeah, we see that, it's an intense game, this rugby, first team level. We see the cramps starting to kick in a little bit. I mean, these are fantastically conditioned boys, though. And the conditioning coaches would have done everything in preseason to get them up and running. But 70 minutes of the hardest day of your life, yeah, they're going to take some toll.
25 minutes in, Manny, 10 minutes to go. Changes should be coming up now, you think?
Definitely. I think they'll look to be rolling the subs. 2 changes already in the front row as we see Jeppe's front row changing a little bit, and a change out wide. Well, it's definitely going to be what we were talking about early on in the day. The best team here is the team that's going to play 70 minutes of rugby.
Game back on now by the referee. Khobla will look to feed the scrum.
We talk about Lumo boots. Engelbrecht and Davies have done fantastically well to match Manyike there. Definitely a competition.
Well, I don't know who will be judging that competition as we see St. John's on the ball now. Will look to solidify with the forwards. Good go forward at the moment. I think St. John's just needs to straighten out the backline and get themselves set.
Well, this is not good. We see Davies on the ground. I'm not sure if he took a knock or if he's cramping up a little bit, but he's not looking good. A pivotal player would hate to see him go off today.
Critical time as well as he goes down for a second time. I think it's this big cramp there. Doesn't look very comfortable at all.
No, a definite impact player. What a loss it would be to the St. John's side if he were to go off. A loss at the moment. You know, St. John's playing with 14 men here.
Medics and physios quickly onto Davies. Will look to try sort him out. In the meantime, David McAlpine takes the ball forward for St. John's College. Just outside the 22. Let's see if we can get a visit inside the 22. Houtstan now on the ball. Isolated there. No support players with him.
What is that for?
Davies in the background there, slowly and gingerly joining up the backline again. Doesn't look to be 100%. I think just a Gia is carrying him at the moment.
No, definitely. You know, it's something he's doing for his school, you know, for his teammates, for the 14 blokes around him at the moment. You know, good to see. You know, a lot of Gia's, as you say, shown here by Davies. But how much longer can he go?
Well, hopefully just under 10 minutes.
From a Jeppe point of view, hopefully not.
Slow ball there as Nkanza gets the ball. Trickery. Oopsie. Referee blows a whistle. Forward.
We talk about home ground advantage when we talk about franchise rugby and even international rugby. With games like this, you know, Jeppe just up the road. What do you think is the factors when it comes to home ground and away home ground advantage?
Man, in a situation like this, I think even Stevens, as you can see from a support point of view, both sets of parents have really come out to support. Both schools have really come out in their numbers. And for Jeppe boys, a 5-minute drive down the hill, I think is as good as home. Who's got the better advantage at the moment? I think, like you and I have both said, pretty much even Stevens. Who's got the character now in the last 10 minutes to take it through for their team?
No, it's definitely, and I think character's the main word here. You know, I think in terms of skill set, in terms of big hits, in terms of defense, you know, the two teams have evened each other out. Now it's going to be a matter of that mental capacity in these last few minutes.
As we head into the last 5 minutes of this encounter, Manny, are you willing to make a call?
You know, I'm not a betting man, you know, and especially in a game like this, I would hate to make a call. You know, I'd lose a lot of money because both of these teams could do anything in the situation. You know, we've seen it. We've seen St. John's run away with the game. Jeppe crawling back into the game. So anyone's game at the moment. One converts a try away.
Massive scrum there by St. John's College. Referee adjudicating that they have wheeled the scrum and done so illegally. Penalty for Jeppe boys. Welcome relief, I'm sure, for those forwards. Fantastic work. Must be those changes that you're talking about in the front row, Manny.
No, definitely. You know, freshness. You know, it's not a matter of having a bad game or whatever the case may be. As we've seen, you know, this game does take its toll. You know, and the fresh legs starting to kick in. I look around at the St. John's side and I don't see too many numbers over 15. So maybe a few tired bodies at the moment. Maybe a few changes are required.
Very, very tired bodies. As I see there, Murray Blair looking to be very, very tired. But I think the Gias will be carrying the boys through as we hear the St. John's boys encouraging their team to finish the job they started.
No, definitely some of these boys will be sleeping really well today, you know, giving everything they've got out on the field for their school, you know, for their management and for their teammates alike.
Good ball there as Van Tonder gives the ball through to the centers. They'll want to get rid of the ball quickly now, maintain the momentum and the swing.
Well, you know, a little change as we see, you know, this is not Jeppe's normal brand of rugby. They're keeping it nice and tight to the ruck. You know, they understand the situation of the game, can't play this expansive brand, can't get isolated out wide.
Come on, boys.
Ball retention now is going to be critical.
And another mistake is made at critical situations.
Was that a cheeky little foot in the ruck there before the knock on, Manny?
No comment. Well, it's getting to the red zone, you know, that part of the game where you got to give everything and more.
Fatigue setting in, as we can see Vice Captain Julian Ziller huffing and puffing there. We can see quite a few of the boys limping around, cramping setting in there. It is a high veld, it is Johannesburg, and although the sun is not shining 100%, it's a warm day out here.
must say Davies looked to have recovered, might have just been a little bit of cramp, looking after him or the medical team. St. John's need him at the moment. Both the number 10 and 12 of St. John's have linked up so well, and I think that's the reason they are ahead at the moment.
Nothing better than some magical spray from the physios to cure any problem, Manny.
Well, as we say that, he takes a knock. You can't see it on screen at the moment as he goes down. I really do think, he's trying his best to push through the pain, but it's just too much for him at the moment. But he's a big, strong boy. He'll be looking to fight through the last 3 minutes.
Ball there very cleverly ripped in the tackle by O'Connell. Jeppe ball, but immediately turned over again. Knock-on advantage being played. Henwood will look to take the ball forward as we are reaching now the 10-meter line in the Jeppe half. Deliberate knock-on again by Khobla, and referee will come back for the scrum.
Well, clever stuff, not getting flustered at breakdown, just taking the deliberate knock, slowing play down. They understand one of their players is down, so effectively they're 14 at the moment. Fantastic brains in the St. John's side.
Khobla's done really well to settle the game down when he's needed to. He's really done a fantastic job at balancing the forwards and the back line. Good control. Not one of those scrum halves that are always in your face and shouting and screaming, directing orders. Silent assassin he's been in this game. But fantastic control and realization of the rules and of the game, like you've said, in all these situations.
Well, Lucky, I think what you're saying is absolutely pivotal. The best players in the St. John's side have been the number 8 Zilla, Houtstan, and of course Davies. And linking them together has to be that man Ronald Khobla. He is the link between the forwards and the backs. And if he plays well, you can get secure ball out of the forwards into the backs who can run it. And he's pivotal. Sometimes scrum offs, like you say, thinking about other things. Chirping, having a word. He's thought about his game. He's executed everything he's had to do fantastically. His error rate is really low. He's been fantastic. He's been quick to the line. He's been an absolute leader. He's been fantastic. Perfect number 9 today.
If ever Jeppe needed a tight head, it would be right now. Ball comes out quickly now for St. John's. First phase ball for Houtstan. Davies gets onto the ball, up into the center. Stabilizes for St. John's. Carried up by Philip and Parusa now. Nearing the 10-meter line. McAlpine takes the ball forward. Good go forward by the forwards here of St. John's College.
Well, here's a little question for you at the moment, Lucky. So St. John's are slowly making their way to the 22. Do you look for the 3 points, make it an 8-point game, make it more than a score away, or do you look to retain possession, keep the ball away from Jeppe, look for the try?
I see Kieran Houtstan cleverly sitting behind the scrum half. I'd back my boy for a drop goal from there.
Well, it's probably the right thing to do. It's not probably the right thing to do. It is the right thing to do. Make it impossible to catch the game in one score.
A slow build-up will be key, though, if a drop attempt is something that St. John's is thinking about. Those forwards will need to protect the ball. Slow and steady up the pool. Ball retention will be critical here, as we see Jeppe boys attempting to steal the ball.
Well, here's another question. If Jeppe do manage to turn the ball over, they're going to have to go back to their expansive brand of rugby, because they can't keep the ball in nice and tight for the next 50 meters, because we've seen the error rates has been so high in this game. So what they'll probably look to do if they do turn the ball over, massive counter, expansive brand, look for the try.
Put it this way, Manny, it's now or never. Time is up on our clock here. Penalty goes the way of St. John's College there, as we see an infringement by one of the Jeppe boys. Not very happy with the referee's decision. Referee's decision gives him a yellow card, gives him his marching orders. Ngaba there, not very happy with the decision given by the referee. He thought he had all rights to the ball there.
So decision over here, kick it into the corner, retain possession, or go for the 3 points, make the game unchaseable rather.
It depends how much time is left, Manny, but I think judging by everybody on the park, I would like to think that time is up. So Kieran Houtstan will probably just want to put the cherry on top of the cake.
Well, he's been an absolute magnificent kicker. I can't see him missing from this range, but commentators curse.
Decision time now, Manny. If you had to pick a man of the match, what are your thoughts?
Well, it's a difficult one, because as we explained, they've been 4 absolute stalwarts in the St. John's side, who have carried them over. So it would be a competition between number 8, number 9, number 10, number 12. But I'll definitely have to go with the captain. Leading from the front, kicking well, defending well, attacking well, and winning them the game. Fantastic game here from St. John's College.
Referee says, men, that's it. Had enough. Calls it full time. Kieran Houtstan, like I said, puts a cherry on top of the cake. 3 points for St. John's. Final score here at St. John's College. 23 points to St. John's, 15 to Jeppe. In terms of the Man of the Match award, Manny, I'd have to agree with you. Houtstan has led from the front. He has been pivotal. He has scored points on the board. He has got that go forward. Fantastic display. I think, having said that as well, Manny, fantastic team display by St. John's. They did the simple things. A lot of errors, it must be said, from both teams. But all in all, I think they did a very good job of maintaining, taking the opportunities when they needed to.
Sometimes you hear people speaking of, the better team not winning the game. Today, I definitely think the better team won the game. Decision making, running, kicking, defending. It's been absolutely fantastic. It's been a fantastic display of rugby here from St. John's College.
Disappointment, I'm sure, from the Jeppe boys. A tough one to come out here at St. John's College to win. They definitely did give a valiant effort and a variant account of themselves as we see them strutting off. Obviously bitterly disappointed. Back to the drawing board, and hopefully they'll come back much, much stronger next week. Final thoughts from you, Manny?
Yeah, definitely, I think looking at both sides, St. John's could have been a lot better today. I think St. John's could have got between 35 points today. But Jeppe definitely need to iron out their mistakes. A lot of those mistakes, they'll be counting their mistakes. Those mistakes just costing them at critical situations. Not just in that final bit of the game, but if we count everything from minute 1 in the first half to minute 35 in the second half, handling errors, that kind of thing, missing touch, just wasn't good enough here from Jeppe, and they'll be counting their mistakes.
Pure jubilation and excitement on the St. John's College camp as we see the management staff showing their joy and excitement. Obviously, a fixture like this means quite a lot to them. A lot of hard work being put in by both teams. Fortunately for St. John's, coming out as winners today. Very emotional these boys are. As you can imagine, Manny, a lot of preparation goes into fixtures like this. Obviously, very, very difficult from us sitting here to see a loser at the end of the day. That being said, I do think the spirit was played. The game was played in a fantastic spirit. Great game of rugby, which we would like to see more often, I think.
What a fantastic game. We didn't see any argy-bargy. I don't think we even saw a yellow card. It's been a clean game. It's been a fantastic game. It was played in the spirit of the game, in the spirit of schoolboy rugby. And, the St. John's captain here just having a few words, thanking the crowd here, because I do think they have been fantastic. They got behind their boys. St. John's would have entered this game as the underdogs, and rightfully so. But today they showed that maybe that was not the case.
100%. I wish I knew the referee's name. I think commendations to the referee as well. Fantastic handling of the game. Often we never hear very positive comments about referees and how they officiate the game. I think he did a sterling job today in controlling the situation, and that allowed us to have a fantastic game of rugby.
No, it was a lovely game. He didn't make too many errors. I can't even count how many errors he made. But, the 3 referees working as a side and as a team. And I think that's what's vitally important. There's 3 of them out there, united. Every time players were not happy with decisions, they backed each other up. And I thought they were fantastic today. Like I said, if you don't realize the referee, we don't even know his name. He's done a fantastic job.
Jeppe boys now getting down for their war cry.
Well, for all the old boys watching this, they'll be absolutely loving this moment, reminiscing of the times when they were either donning the jersey or donning the blazer at this situation.
As is custom, the visitors go first and doing the war cry. Fantastic war cry there by the Jeppe boys. Now across to St. John's College.
Well, here we go. We're going to see a little bit of a spectacle, I think, on our hands. I'm putting my money on the circle. First team in the middle, school around them. What do you think?
I thought we weren't making any bets in this game.
Look, I've probably lost a lot of money betting on this game already, so why not go full out?
A fantastic win, Manny, on another point, a fantastic win by St. John's. Obviously, a lot of building blocks to be put in place by the Jeppe boys, but I think we can both agree, very early in the season, very early to see momentum shifts, very early to talk about seasons, whether they're going to go up or down.
Well, not only very early in the season, but very early in this Jeppe succession plan. Like I said, a lot of grade 11s, a lot of youngsters in the side. So they'll be looking, 24 months ahead. So a result like today would be a great learning curve. They say losing isn't always a bad thing. It's sometimes where you learn from. And I think that's where the good sides get it right. If Jeppe learn nothing out of this game, won't make them a good side. But they'll go home tonight, they'll do their video analysis, and they'll be working hard at training to rectify all the mistakes that cost them this game.
Wise words there, Manny, and I'm sure those sentiments will be echoed by the management of Jeppe boys to steer them forward in the season. Because as we've seen, particularly in the Highveld, our rugby season is getting much more extended, much longer as well. So a defeat like this, particularly for the Jeppe boys, is a hard pill to swallow. But they cannot allow it as a dampener for them to define their season.
No, definitely. Like I say, a learning curve. You know, they'll keep this game on record. They'll be looking at this game over and over and over again, and just using it to go up against some of their big rivals. You know, the Keizers, the Westfalls, the Uffies. You know, but what a display here by St. John's, proving that today they were not the underdogs. They outplayed Jeppe in every facet, and I thought they were absolutely fantastic. Can't put their heads down at the moment because it was a good St. John's outfit that they put on the park today.
Talking about the Keizers of the world, a cataclysmic clash happening across a road from us, the Yuxke Derby as they call it. King Edward VII School up against Pretoria Boys High. Would be interesting to see how life is across at 44 St. Patrick's Road.
Goodness gracious, it must be such an outing. I mean, if the game was absolutely packed here today, I can imagine Pretoria Cares, you know, a lot of supporters willing to drive the 60 Ks from the north down to the south. What a fantastic game we've got on our hands there.
Looking at a fixture like this, Manny versus St. John's and Jeppe, with, in all honesty, as the history books would say, it was once a one-sided affair by Jeppe boys. Having seen the development and having seen a game of this magnitude, does that bode well for Gauteng rugby? Does that bode well into our feeder systems like the Lions? Does it make for better competition?
Well, like you say, when we look at the Lions structure, we see certain teams, we see Monument, we see Cares, we see Jeppe dominating the Lions structure. Now with games like this, I mean, we saw last week against Saints, definitely wasn't a walkover. So we're now creating a massive pool of players who are now fighting for that number 1 to number 24 in the Lions side. And I definitely think it's boasting well for our province. It's creating more competition, and we all know competition creates a higher level, a higher standard.
Right, Manny, it's been an absolute pleasure. Fantastic outing here at St. John's College. Drinks break, I think, is highly due for us. Let's go upstairs for a cool drink. From our behalf and on School Sports Live behalf, thank you very much to everybody for joining us. My name is Lucky Letsabo. It's been a fantastic encounter, and we can't wait to see everybody soon.